It's a crime shocking the community. A 15, 13, and 11-year-old accused of murder and posting video of it to social media. Tonight, only the 13-year-old was in custody, but just moments ago, Albuquerque police say they were able to find the 11-year-old. He's too young to be in police custody, so he was turned over to CYFD. News 13's Annalisa Pardo has details.
Well, police arrested 13-year-old Jonathan Overbay and 11-year-old Messiah Hayes. Police are still looking for the 15-year-old they say was also involved.
11, 13, and 15-year-old. How these little niggas are too young. Like, they're too young. And they have a body already at 11, 13, and 15.
Now, we're not showing the crash itself, but we do still want to warn our viewers that this video is still disturbing to watch.
Are you guys recording it?
Laughing and flashing a gun moments before police say 13-year-old Jonathan Overbay, 15-year-old William Garcia, and 11-year-old Messiah Hayes intentionally hit Scott Habermel, who was riding his bike to work at Sandia National Labs in May of last year, killing him.
Just bump him, bruh.
Like, you like bump him?
Yeah, just bump him. Go like 15, 20.
Originally deemed a traffic accident until two different kids saw the video online, one telling a parent, the other alerting a school official.
I personally believe that the parents should be held responsible as well as the kids, because in all honesty, I guarantee you that car, regardless if it's their parents, another stranger, or whoever is in their lives, I guarantee you that that vehicle is stolen. And the fact that they have a fucking weapon, they have a fucking gun, just says a whole lot.
Police believe the child with a gun had just turned 11 a week before this murder.
This is just another example of
how stupid can these idiots be? And listen, I personally feel like with situations like this, you have to treat these little niggas. I pray that the Albuquerque judicial system does not let these little niggas just get away. I'm low-key disappointed that they didn't even convict the 11-year-old because he was allegedly, or not allegedly, but he was too young, quote unquote. Fuck that. Like, shit like this is not okay. And then these little niggas getting a slap on the wrist is not going to help society at all, or help them. Because, in all honesty, these guys are 15, 11, and 13, right? They're gonna get a slap on the wrist. They're probably not gonna get that many years. They're still gonna come out when they're teenagers or whatever consequences they have to face. They're gonna get over those consequences by the time they're still a teenager. So that by the time they're like maybe 17, 18, they're still all gonna be, you know, teenagers, and it's not really gonna have an effect on them. Just turned 11. Dog, what the fuck? I get it if, you know, 16, 17, you know, they already driving at the age where they're driving and, you know, they're leaving the house a little bit more. But 11? This little nigga was just 10. He was just in 5th grade last year. Like, what the hell? This nigga's 10 years old waving a gun at the camera. Nigga, when I was 10 years old, nigga, I was dreaming about fucking on my teacher, my 5th grade teacher. What the fuck? This little nigga did what? I was over here playing with my little dick. I was over here watching porn and shit. Sam and Cat, iCarly. Nigga, I was waiting for those shows at 10 and 11 years old to come on. Nigga, I wasn't thinking about grabbing no gun, going outside, waving that shit at the camera. I was over here trying to watch iCarly.
You know, what we're dealing with as law enforcement is dealing with these younger and younger kids that are getting involved in serious crime.
It comes amid the Bernalillo County District Attorney's push to reform the Children's Code, echoed by the Albuquerque mayor today.
This is why we have continued to say that our juvenile justice system is in desperate need of help.
House Bill 134, which had a number of the DA's proposals,
Fuck help. They're in desperate need of prison time, goddammit.
failed to move through the Roundhouse earlier this month. In a 4-2 vote along party lines, a House committee tabled the bill.
Seeing the video was extremely disturbing.
Republican Albuquerque Representative Nicole Chavez was one of the sponsors for the bipartisan bill, saying it would have allowed minors to be charged with vehicular homicide, which may have applied to this case, calling its failure frustrating.
People don't understand that this is what juveniles are doing now, and they do not think that they're going to have any consequences.
Tonight, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham called the murder senseless violence that could have been prevented. She said in part, quote, "I am appalled that with less than a week remaining in the legislative session, lawmakers have not passed any substantive legislation to deal with juvenile crime, both urging citizens to call their lawmakers."
They should be asking them these questions of what they tried to do to address this issue. or what they didn't do.
Democratic lawmakers say there are still bills up for consideration that take a systematic approach to tackling juvenile crime.
It is not normal for an 11-year-old to do what we saw today in that video.
You know, shit like that is a real tricky situation, and is very, very weird because these little niggas are under the age of 16. They're not even at the age of where they can, two of them are not even at the age of where they can get their permit. So it's weird to say, oh, you know, put them in jail. But at the same time, I think this situation right here warrants that. They know, like, they're not innocent. They know that they can be out here committing crimes and they'll get a slap on the wrist. What the fuck is your kid doing out at that time? And you just have no clue. You're just oblivious to where your kid is at. And on top of that, they have a gun and they have a fucking vehicle. They have a whole car.
We must do better. That's why we are fixing CYFD, and I urge the governor and I urge the executive branch to really take the work that we've done into account to ensure that this does not happen again.
13-year-old Overbay was arrested and is facing a number of charges, including murder. 15-year-old Garcia.
Fuck that. Charge his ass with everything. This little nigga was waving a gun at the camera. He's scaring the shit out of me.
Garcia is facing similar charges, and APD is urging the public to help find him.
Will, I know you're watching this. Just turn yourself in.
APD says 11-year-old Messiah Hayes is too young to charge with murder, but they are working with the DA's office to see what charges he could face. In the meantime,
how many chances do you give this little nigga?
Hayes will be placed in CYFD custody where he'll be given an evaluation. Back to you.
Annalisa, thank you. Albuquerque police say they had contact with Messiah Hayes last year, and News 13 covered at least one of those instances. Last May, just 12 days before the murder of
baffles my fucking brain that this little nigga committed a serious crime before this too. Yo, he had to be the brains of the operation, 100%. This little nigga is a fucking menace. This is a little demon right here.
Bicyclist Habermel. Police say Messiah Hayes and 3 teenagers crashed a stolen car into the Daily Needs convenience store on Indian School. After ramming that store twice, they jumped over the counters and grabbed cigarettes and alcohol. The single mother who had her car stolen in this crime was devastated to find it destroyed.
I was heartbroken because, again, this is my only mode of transportation, and to see how my car was used was heartbreaking because I work so hard for what I have.
Now, we don't have Hayes' birth date, so it's not clear if he was 10 years old at the time of this crime or had just turned 11. Police say Messiah Hayes was also involved in an incident last year where he shot at a person. We do not have details of that case. As Albuquerque police searched for Hayes, they told us they were concerned that they might have had to use deadly force against an 11-year-old.
Then recently, this motherfucker kills a goddamn cyclist trying to go to work. What the fuck does it take for this little nigga to face the rest of his life in prison, dog? Parents don't hold this little nigga accountable? I would have choked this little nigga to death.